Good morning, Snow West. I'm Graybeard, your pirate guide, and we are here with a brand new chapter in the Snow West adventure. We're going to start the next half of the Pirate Guide channel. Up until now, it's been nothing but a snowmobile channel. We've been dedicated to going up in the mountains in the middle of summer, in the middle of winter, and exploring all the trails and all the places that we can ride in West Yellowstone and Island Park. Starting today, we're going to begin the summer series. Behind me in the garage, you see a couple of big boxes, and behind that box, or those boxes, you see a brand new ATV. I'm going to go back and grab those and bring that out here, and we'll begin this new adventure. The first thing we're going to have to do today is install a couple of accessories on this new ATV that I got, and that's what these boxes are. As we begin the journey from purely a winter sports enthusiast to a summer sports enthusiast, your humble pirate guide's got to learn how to get all the same stuff that he needs up in the mountains there in the summertime as he does in the wintertime. Over on the side, you can see my snowmobiles, and you can see the cargo container in the back that I use. But as I bring out the ATV, you'll notice there's no storage capacity whatsoever. So we'll climb up on top of this bad boy and bring her out, and we'll get ready to put some storage capacity on this thing so we can carry the camera and the tripod, the microphones, the gimbal, all the accessories I need, rain gear, cold weather gear, everything that we might run into up on top of the mountains at 8,000 feet. All right, so got a lovely new ATV, and I should be straight up front. I'm a snowmobiler. I've got, oh my gosh, 17 years of snowmobiling experience, and I have 0 years of ATV experience. Years ago, I had a couple of razors, and we used to go to the dunes, and that was where we hung out. We hung out in the sand. That was almost before I got into snowmobiling. But as far as actually running an ATV, going up on trails and being up in the mountains, your pirate guide has 0 experience. I'm as green gets, and that's going to be part of the adventure. You're going to get to come along as I learn how to do this. In the beginning, I'm going to be up there by myself today. We'll go up for the very first ride. I have not taken this ATV out beyond just going down the street. But this is going to be a journey and adventure of trial by error. I'll find out what I know and what I don't know and what I need to go get and what accessories I have to have. But right off the bat, I knew I needed forward storage and I needed some rear storage. And I probably needed a fair amount of both so that we could get up, and do a 50, a 75, or 100-mile ride, regardless of what the weather's going to be like. If it gets windy, if it gets cold, if it rains, if it snows. I wanted to make sure I had all the gear I needed, not only to produce the videos for you guys and to do the trail reports, but to also be safe while I'm up on the mountain. As time goes by, I suspect I will start having friends and people will come and join me, just like we did on the snowmobiling side. But for now, it's going to be a solo experience. So I went to my local dealer and I asked, in their opinion, what were some of the things they would suggest that I get. And I've made these purchases based on the fact that I know the guys at my dealership. I've known them for years, and I invested some trust in their opinion, and I hope they didn't steer me wrong. I don't think they did. I'm a big supporter of having a really good relationship with your local dealer. And because of all the snowmobiling I do, I have a great relationship with more than one of my local dealers. So they suggested that I grab, this is my forward container. Looks like we got a couple of accessories inside that I need to look into. And a similar one for the rear container. Just bigger. Oh, significantly bigger. Yeah, this thing's freaking huge. Holy cow. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. Oh yeah, there's going to be more than enough room to carry everything. I'll have significantly more capacity than I had on the snowmobile. Oh my goodness. Looks like we might have a little bit of wiring we have to do also. All right, well, that's what today's about. Today's about getting this thing set up and checking the parts that I have and what I'm going to need to get and what we need to add. Well, I rolled the ATV back into the garage. It got very sunny and very hot out here. Took me a couple of minutes. Some minor installation required. I had to drill a few holes. Had to log on, read some instructions, get thoroughly confused, call, ask for advice, and then everything bolted on just fine. So I'll take it back out of the garage now, into the light of day. And now I've got plenty of room in the front for all the gear that I want to use for photography, plenty of room in the back for food and clothing and foul weather supplies, things like that if I get stuck up on the mountain in the middle of a rainstorm, even perhaps a snowstorm. One of my hopes is I will be able to use this right up and through the very first snow of the season. So if this goes well this summer and we knock out, you know, a video every week for the next 8 weeks, 10 weeks, something like that, then that should take me right up to the snowmobile season, and there'll be a nice crossover. And who knows, maybe if I have a lot of fun with this thing, I'll buy maybe if I have a lot of fun with this, I will even buy a set of tracks for it. That might be another level of fun. But I'll go ahead and hook the trailer up to the truck now and back this thing up onto the trailer, and we'll get ready to head up to Island Park. All right, let's see if we can't get this ATV up on my snowmobile trailer. I am not fortunate enough to have multiple trailers, so we're gonna have to make do. As I recall, this trailer just barely fits. It was super snug when I got the ATV and brought it down. And I'm sure it hasn't gotten any better since then. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of space to fit. Let's see, put this in 4-wheel drive. And up we go. It is a weird feeling, I'll be really honest. Not being able to see where you're going is just not fun. All right, put her back in 2-wheel drive. See if we can't. Oh yeah. I wonder if I can turn it sharper as I come back up. It certainly isn't centered. It'll be fine. I mean, it'll drive okay. I'd love to have it in the middle. I don't know. It may just have to do for now, I suppose. I'm not sure I have a good way of coming up that ramp and turning and not running right into that center mid post there. And she's a big girl, so I can't just pick her up and bounce her like I do with my snowmobiles. See, this is all part of that journey of discovery I was talking about. Trying to figure out how do we make this work and how we make it work well. Yeah, I'm afraid if I try to back it up and I turn quick, I'll turn right off that little ramp. It's just too small. All right, well, we'll go with this for now. This will work. I think we can strap her down and make her safe. Ah, the joys of the first time. While I strap this down, I should tell you about that time, just a little over a year ago, where I had my sleds on this very same trailer, a nearly identical trailer, and one of the sleds rolled off onto the highway. I I had pinned the sled down properly, but I had not tied it down. So when I came around a particularly harsh turn once, the sled was bolted to the trailer, but bolted to the outside edge. And when that bolt failed, the sled was able to roll off the edge of the trailer, still attached. That's important, still attached to the trailer. But she rolled right off the edge, over the edge, I should say, boom, right onto the ground, and I drug her down the highway. And that was all kinds of fun. That was a brand new $24,000 snowmobile that was destroyed, obliterated, because I failed to take one of these straps and attach that strap. That was an incredibly expensive life lesson, one that I hope I never have to repeat. And now I'm a little more consistent in my strapping, whether it be for an ATV or be for a snowmobile, won't make any difference at all. But I will strap this son of a gun down very well, for no desire to ever do that again. And many of my snowmobiling buddies will never, ever let me live that down. And as well they should, because it was just stupid on my part. I knew better. I wasn't paying attention. And because of that, boy, I wrecked a custom-made snowmobile. And yeah, it was just something I thought I'd share with you guys to, you know, take the time, spend the money, get the straps. Whatever your toy is, make sure you take care of it. It's so easy, relatively speaking, to get these babies on there and strap them down like that. There we go. She's on there nice and tight now. No chance of that sled. You're gonna hear me say that a lot on this channel. No chance of that sled, of that ATV coming off at all. Oh my goodness. I'm a snowmobiler at heart. This ATV thing is all gonna be brand new for me. You are coming along for the journey. As an old diehard snowmobiler takes up ATVing, we'll see how this goes. There's got to be a really good way of strapping these excess straps down. And I don't know what that really good way is yet, but I'm going to figure that out. If you're an old hand at this and you know a really good solution, by all means, let me know. Because I don't know what'll hold up to going down the highway and what won't. You'll find that a lot of what I do, I will figure out as I go along, but I'm really, really open to people educating me. When it came to sledding back in 2008, I did it all the freaking hard way. I figured it all out by myself, one stupid mistake at a time. Yeah, that seems pretty solid. And learned via the School of Hard Knocks. Hopefully, I will not have to do that again. So if you have the opportunity and you want to give me some comments, please do. Please be constructive, don't just harass me. If you have something you can tell me that'll help me to do a better job, by all means, let me know. So here we are, coming out of the Big Springs parking lot. You can look back and you can see all the people that are here this summer, but this is the primary entrance. You can see some of the snowmobile signs. Normally we have our tracking station right there, but we'll head straight down there and go take a look and see how different this looks in the summertime than it does in the wintertime, because it is strikingly different without all the snow. Normally right here, I'd say we probably have 2 feet of snow most of the wintertime. And this is usually where we begin all of our adventures. Come whipping around here and dive out, get our first taste of what the snow is going to be like for the day generally. Oh my gosh, it's so freaking different in the summertime. Oh, it's so completely different. It's so warm. It's sunny. There's a 15-mile-an-hour breeze today. It's about 78 degrees temperature. I mean, it's absolutely drop dead gorgeous outside today. And of course we have dust. That's something we don't have at all in the wintertime out here. Normally this is snowy and cold and completely clean, but we have a little bit more going on today than we have in the middle of winter. We're gonna make our way out over to Big Springs the back way. Well, you still got the whoops even in the summertime. In the winter, I blame it on the fact that groomers don't get out often enough. But apparently in the summertime, it's the same damn thing. I just happen to have a lot more suspension travel on this ATV than I do on the snowmobile. Oh my gosh, that's just too funny. So as we made it out to the Big Springs meadow, some of you may be familiar with this area. The main highway's right over there on the right-hand side. That's where the group trail is during the wintertime. But I'm hunting for ATV trails today, so I'm just kind of following my nose and seeing where we're able to get to. But don't see any of the sagebrush in the middle of winter. This has normally got several feet of snow on it. A lovely ATV trail. Right now I'm headed directly towards Big Springs. I don't know for a fact that this trail will actually get me there or not. I hope that it will. I think it will. But we're going to do a little exploring today, and we'll find out exactly where we can and can't go by ATV. That's the whole purpose of this upcoming series, is to explore the exact same places we ride all winter long in the summer, and then be able to compare and contrast what the riding conditions are. And if I'm very lucky, we'll find a couple of new spots that we haven't been doing our snowmobiles, and go chase after a few places that we get to go on the snowmobiles that we haven't been to on an ATV. But dang, if it isn't gorgeous. It is just as beautiful in the summer as it is in the winter. Just an entirely different kind of beautiful though. And sure enough, we've come to the first closed trail of the day. Why it's closed? No idea whatsoever, but you can see they tried to build a little tank trap, put a couple of trees across. They're going to direct us over to the left, and it kind of looks like it might just loop around. We'll go see where the good Forest Service forces us to go to instead. I don't know what the answer is, to be honest. No, they tried to block that off as well, so we don't loop around. Oh, great, it's going to put us out onto the road. Oh, that's exciting. That's certainly not where I wanted to go. We'll run down the highway just a little bit. This ends just after the Big Springs Bridge, so hopefully I won't get in trouble for going down here. I'm really wondering why that trail over there is closed off. I would prefer to stay off a paved highway all day today if I possibly can. But there are many mysteries of the Forest Service that I don't begin to understand, not the least of which is why they close all these trails. It makes no sense to me at all, but who am I? I'm just a recreational rider. I do believe that little trail there is walkers only. That's where I come up here. You may have seen me many times with my dogs. This is one of the most beautiful places, I think, in all of Island Park. Just to the right there is Henry's Fork River, and that first mile is completely protected. It is fabulous, and this little 1 mile walking space. Maybe that's why they closed the trail. Maybe they're just trying to protect it from walkers. I'll head back out this little spur and cross over and try not to get hit by cars. And this takes us up to Big Springs. You can see the first spring right there on the right-hand side. Big Springs is not a single spring, it's a series of multiple springs that all come out of the mountain and all exit to create the headwaters of the Henry's Fork. There's a fair crowd out today. Truly one of the most lovely places in all of Island Park. A place I come to very, very frequently, all summer and all winter. Today's adventure will begin right up here as the road turns left and we go straight back onto the dirt track. And here we go. Now we're on our way up to Mount Two Top. Hopefully the weather cooperates. It is absolutely lovely right now. If it doesn't rain, that'll be fabulous. So coming out of Big Springs, we come to our first major intersection, which is Route 66. And we will turn right here and begin the ascent up into the mountains. I suspect we'll probably see lots of traffic, and I'm going to be eating some serious dirt here. Side-by-sides kick up a little bit more dirt than we do. Some of you might recognize this little spot, this clearing where the power lines are overhead there. Certainly is a place we stop all the time in the winter. Let's run out there. That is one of the steepest hill climbs you can get in Island Park. And in the wintertime, it can be a lot of fun, or it can be just sleet, ice, and a total luge run. I have certainly rolled my sled coming down that once or twice. I've seen many other people inflict severe carnage on their snowmobiles. I didn't even realize there's an actual dirt trail that goes up it. Goodness, that's got to be exciting on an ATV. This little feeder will take us up to, it should be the old railroad line 001, which is a lovely ride in the wintertime. It's always rough, it's unmaintained. Probably a lot nicer in the summertime would be my guess. Won't know for sure till we get up there and get close enough to see it, but I think I'll take the shortcut. We'll take the 001 route to the left rather than going down the main road. At the very least, it ought to be much more scenic. Now, let's see if we can't get up a little higher here. You get a sense of just how steep that climb actually is in the wintertime. It's a good run. The ATV would be happier if I put her in the low gear. Yep. There we go. You get any sense of slope out of this video? That thing goes up. That's a good climb. It ought to be fun in the summer. It is most assuredly fun in the wintertime. But this is the old narrow gauge railroad that used to take people back into West Yellowstone. We actually take them into Yellowstone National Park back in the day. So now we're on 001 and we're heading up to that four-way intersection where you can either go up Black Canyon or go over into Montana to West Yellowstone or continue on up to Two Top. Now, if you've ever ridden this trail in the winter, this is one of the worst trails around. It gets a fair amount of traffic, but it's 100% unmaintained. So this tends to be, you know, completely stand-up only. It is just a rough, rutted, you know, whoop-de-doo trail. Really, really a beautiful trail to ride on in the wintertime. I remember last year on the first ride when we came up in November, I think we had to clear 7 trees off this trail. We were the first people up for the winter, I'm pretty sure. And we had a fair amount of tree removal to do because just over the course of the winter, trees had fallen, over the course of fall from the first snow, trees had fallen and completely blocked this trail. There's several springs along here. There's a couple of grades you can go over. I don't know, I want to call them trestle bridges. They're not bridges, but it's where the train's built up a dirt crossing. It's really just a beautiful trail. there's a natural spring right in here. That stays liquid all winter long. And there's little patches in here that are just vibrant green in the middle of winter. It's really a very, very beautiful place. But it's so much nicer in the summertime. Oh gosh, I can't tell you. This is positively pleasant to ride down right now by comparison. Big old ATV, lots of power, good suspension. This thing is a joy to drive. So I think I can say that if you come up here in the summertime and you want to take your ATV out or your side-by-side, your quad, dirt bike even, and you're coming for scenery, you're coming because you want to see something that's really beautiful and magnificent, you're going to thoroughly enjoy this. Well, I've been riding up here for 17 years on my snowmobile. Today is really my first day on an ATV. And it is so strikingly different. I know I'm going to say this over and over again today, but please bear with me. For me, this is a really big moment of discovery, and you know, it's a completely new experience for your pirate. This is normally white. It is 50, 60 inches deep in snow when I come up here all winter long. And now it is just green and it's lush, and it's probably 75 degrees right now. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. The weather's beautiful. There's a gentle breeze blowing. The trail is gorgeous. You know, it is smooth by comparison to what I normally get here in the wintertime, which is, it's just harsh. But it's lovely. I mean, I don't know how else to convey it, just to let you know, this is beautiful. I think I found what I'm going to do with my summers now. I will have as much fun doing this, I think, in the summer as I do on my snowmobile in the winter. This could turn out to be a really, really good choice. To go up here on the days that I have free in the summertime and just re-explore all the places that we go in the wintertime on the sleds. It's exactly the same and totally different. So this is one of those land bridges I was mentioning that the train company must have built, you know, over 100 years ago to get across this little canyon. Rather than building a physical bridge, they pile up a whole bunch of dirt. You can look down there. I mean, we're up, I don't know, 80 feet up, something like that. It's fairly high. Just super, super pretty. And we've made it to the four-way intersection. If you've been up here in the wintertime, you're one of my sledders, you'll be very familiar with this intersection. That takes us down to Big Springs. This takes us over to West Yellowstone. That's the beginning of the Black Canyon. And this is 001. What do they, I think they actually have a name for it. The Great Western Trail. Yeah, that's the old railroad trail. Normally in the wintertime, this is a very, very busy intersection. In the summertime, a little bit less so. I'm gonna run down Black Canyon, but I know there's a major, major steel gate down here. I've been locked out even in the wintertime sometimes, but I wanna go just to see how far we can go down that road before we get locked out. And then we'll have a little conversation about that gate, because that gate has special meaning to me. So we're now on the Black Canyon Loop Trail, at the very bottom of the trail. And we'll begin the ascent up to see just how far we're actually able to get. In the wintertime, this is probably my favorite spot in all of Island Park or West Yellowstone, is to go up on top of Black Canyon and play. But I do believe we'll get up to a large steel gate, a rather hefty gate, quite a bit different than the gate you see over on the southwestern side of the park. But I expect this will be closed and we won't be able to go very far. But we're going to ride up and see what we can find. And as we've made our way up Black Canyon, lo and behold, there's our big gate. And where do you put a gate? You put a gate where there's no way around it, of course. And our Forest Service has done a fabulous job of putting in a big old massive gate. Let me go ahead and slow down and stop here. You may have recalled a video, actually here, let me switch to a forward camera. Some of you may remember a video I did about a month ago called Access Denied, where I went up Chick Creek, I believe, to the beginning of Black Canyon Loop Trail in the southwest corner of Island Park. And we got as far as the trail would go and we hit a big gate. And I did a whole video on that gate and all the nonsense surrounded. Well, I came up Black Canyon today, and sure enough, this is the gate at the other end of the trail. Now I knew this gate was here, and this gate, as you can see, is significantly more robust than the gate at the other end. The other gate is kind of cobbled together. This one's a much more significant gate. What's important, I guess here, what's worth commenting about is that little spot right there. The last time I came to this gate when it was closed was probably 10, I don't know, maybe 13 years ago in the middle of winter. And the snow was almost up to the top of the gate, but not quite. It was pretty significant. And I remember we took my Yamaha and rode it up and over that little piece right there, and made a big slingshot over and around. We were all surprised that the gate was closed that late in the season, that there was that much snow. It must have been a bit of a challenge for these guys to actually come down here and swing this gate and open it up. But the road's right there, man. Looks pretty good to me. And this gate is not locked. What the crap? Okay, this is weird. I wonder if somebody from the Forest Service is up inside of there right now, maybe. But the gate is not locked. Don't know why. No lock, no chain, no anything. It's just swinging. I suppose if you walked up and you didn't know any better, you'd just assume that it was locked, but for reasons that I cannot not attest, it's wide open. I'm really surprised. I have to admit, that's really unusual. I wonder what the deal is, why this thing is not closed. For one sake, I wanted to ride up here. I fully expected the gate to be closed, but I was hoping just maybe it would be open. I mean, it's unlocked, but I'm not going to go down this road. I suspect there's a compelling reason why there's not a bolt in it right now. I may check with the Forest Service and find out. I would love to know that something has changed and this route is now open. But that center post there tells me that it's supposed to be closed, because that post moves when they open the gates up. Both sides swing and it gets bolted to the mountain. But tell you what, man, this has been a really, really fun ride. I'm thoroughly enjoying this little ATV, and I'm enjoying the whole experience of being up here on the mountain. For a guy who's been sledding for this many years, being up here when it's 78 degrees and it's warm and the wind is howling, but my fingers aren't cold. It's really nice. It's such a different experience. And it's just so incredibly beautiful. It's every bit as lovely in the summertime as it is in the wintertime. All along the Black Canyon Loop Trail, you find these little turnoffs. And if you drive down them, you will find some of our world famous tank traps. I just want to take a second and come over here and show you one up close and in person. These tank traps were built, I think, back in the late 70s, early 80s, somewhere in that zone. And they are, of course, designed to stop all motorized vehicles. That's their purpose. And you can see first one, second one, nasty, third one. They don't want anybody on a motorized vehicle going down here in the summertime. In the wintertime, of course, it's a whole different experience. You come in here with a sled, there's easily 100 inches of snow here, sometimes 120, 150 inches of snow, and you can ride right over these and keep going, because all of this is open, unrestricted riding in the wintertime. But in the summertime, with my humble ATV, I'm not going to give that a go. I think I would probably get very stuck. Dirt bikes? Yeah. I suspect we get some single track guys going right down the side without any trouble at all. They're probably back there playing, having a big old time. As long as they don't get caught, that's a part of the game. But I just wanted to make sure that I gave you guys a good example of a classic Island Park tank trap. And these things are big and they're nasty, and they will stop most motorized wheeled vehicles. Maybe not all. There's probably some sport quads that can make it over those boulders back there. I don't know how ugly the third one is, but the second one's kind of nasty. Now there's a view that ought to be familiar to all my sled friends that have ever come down Black Canyon. You're looking right across over to Sawtail Peak, and I think you can see the radar dome up on top of there. There's just a nice point of reference for you. That long straight stretch that you go down on Black Canyon at the end of your day after you've been up in the high country playing all day long and you're tired, worn out, and ready to head back to the cabin or the lodge and get some dinner. It just kind of seems like it goes for miles and miles, but the view sure is beautiful up here. Yeah, look at that, isn't that beautiful? I'll tell you what, it is considerably less bumpy in the summertime than it is in the wintertime. I mean, this is kind of a nasty, bumpy, rutted out trail, but gosh, what a difference between winter and summer. This is soft and gentle by comparison. Maybe it's just the suspension on this ATV, but I don't feel like I'm getting my bones rattled nearly as much on this ATV as I do on the snowmobile in the winter. This certainly is a very memorable, well-known section of trail for all of us that ride up here in the wintertime. And we'll come to the power line road here. I'll leave the camera on for a second. Pretty much anybody who's ridden with me knows we always stop at the power line. It's a great place to dive off and go have some more really fun riding. Curious to see if there's a trail there in the summertime, or if it's a winter-only use. And we will know in just a moment. So we always pull up here in the wintertime, and survey says no, there is no summertime trail down there. In the wintertime, that is a really, really fun place to ride in your snowmobile. In the summertime, not so much. Look at these boulders. Holy cow, man. These things are way bigger. And we'll climb right up that in the wintertime. That's very climbable on a good mountain sled. But probably not going up there on this ATV. All right, we'll head on back down to the main intersection. All right, so our little detour up Black Canyon's done now, and we'll come back to our main four-way here, and we'll swing over and start heading into Montana. We'll get on with today's adventure. And we're coming up on the Montana state line up here. Oh, I was really hoping the 001 was open. I didn't realize they closed it during the summer. Gosh, I swear, there's so much that's closed here. Good grief. I wanted to go down and show you guys how much fun this little section of trail is. In the wintertime, that is an incredibly fun trail because it's a bowl. It's a U. Well, there's another word for it. I don't remember what it is. But you got 180 degrees of rideable tunnel, half pipe. There we go, half pipe. And I wanted to take the ATV and do the same thing. When you add a couple, 3, 4, 5 feet of snow to this, man, you can go up on the sides and come back around, and it's super, super fun. But it's closed in the summertime, so we'll head back on the trail. I don't know why they close so many of these things. I don't think it's really necessary. And we are officially crossing into Montana now. I actually thought it was a little bit farther back. I didn't realize. All right, we're out of Idaho into Montana. Trails look pretty much exactly the same to me. No difference in dirt grooming today. And again, super fun place in the wintertime to play right out in here. Gosh, it's gorgeous. You can see the train track, or what used to be the train track, right over there through the trees. No idea why they closed it. Doesn't seem like that's necessary in the summertime, but I'm sure somebody has a compelling reason why it has to be closed. turn right before we turn left. Wow, what a difference in the winter. Holy cow. This is completely flat and wide open. All right, well, they've fully closed it off. Oh, it's part of the short line trail. Now I understand. I didn't realize it comes this far. So this is worth commenting on. So there's a brand new trail that just opened up this, I think it was this spring, if I'm not badly mistaken, called the Short Line Trail. And it starts in west and it comes all the way up to this point. I didn't realize it came this far, but it's a hiking, walking, bicycle path. Let's walk over. I think that's worth looking at. Let's take a look at the sign. This was something I meant to come and do on my bicycle, but I just haven't had the opportunity to come. But it is certainly worth taking a look at. This was a fairly major trail project. I had no idea that it came this far up into, yeah, there you go. You can see it real clearly from the Museum of Yellowstone all the way up, follows and comes to the Continental Divide, and we're just short. So where we saw that first gate, I think, is where this trail ends. Maybe they have plans to expand it at some point. I truly don't know. What's allowed? You're allowed to walk, you're allowed to take your horse, and you're allowed to snowmobile all year long. So if I come up here with my sled and I put some wheels on it, I am good to go, apparently. Oh my goodness. That's so funny. But look at this. It's all nice and paved. This is really nice. Okay, so I totally understand why it's closed. Got it. I have no beef with this at all. Look at that. Oh, this is going to be so much fun to come up with my bike. I will really enjoy this. That's sweet. Very cool, guys. Congratulations, West Yellowstone. Putting in a brand new trail. That is very cool. I'm impressed. Maybe that doesn't say a lot. I don't know. Maybe my being impressed doesn't count for much, but that meadow is super fun in the wintertime. But those reeds, all those bushes are usually completely invisible. You get here in late November, early December, and riding out there is a frickin' death trap. That is all covered in snow, but it has no base. And I can't tell you how many times I have gone out into those reeds that are covered with snow and sunk down 3, 4, 5 feet. Occasionally there's a stream, there's a little river that goes right down the middle of this. And I have absolutely ended up in the water on more than one occasion. And that can be a really exciting experience, adventure in digging. But I've never been up here in the summertime. Look at this. No wonder it's such a death trap in the wintertime. Oh my gosh, that's so much fun. That is so cool. Hopefully some of my enthusiasm is coming through on the video. I'm just freaking having a blast. This is way more fun than I was expecting. I'll say it before, but I'll say it again. I am thoroughly enjoying this ATV. This is going to be a great summer hobby of mine. How did I not get involved with this sooner? Oh my gosh. All right, let's continue on with our adventure here. Turn this bad boy around. Give you a shot of the map just so you can reference. We are at Junction 19, obviously. There's the big map. Shows you where all the main trails are. And attention, permits, repairs. So we're heading over Rays Pass, I guess is what we're technically on. And I will run into west, so I want to pick up a Montana and a Wyoming sticker for my ATV. I carry 3 or 4 stickers on my snowmobile, and I want to do the same thing on the ATV. Whether or not I'm in or out of their state really doesn't matter to me. I want to support the local groups and the clubs that do this. That trail we just saw, you know, somebody had to write a check for that, and I'll bet that took a lot of fundraising. So maybe buying a trail pass will help support that just a little bit. And now we're on the beginnings of the trail that will take us up to Mount Two Top. So far on this trail, I think it's open to automobiles, you know, any size side-by-side, ATVs, quads, whatever. And we finally come to the gate with the width restriction. So 50-inch width, and now we'll find out just how wide this ATV is. must be about 45 inches or so. So I clearly fit through this. Oh, we have traffic. And we try to be a friendly neighbor and let somebody else come down. Oh my gosh, how did you, oh, I got my shirt on, don't I?
Yeah.
It's like, how the hell can he possibly know who I am? That's too funny. Yeah, I'm up shooting our very first summer video.
Oh, that's awesome.
Today's the shakedown ride.
Oh, nice.
Hang on a second, you're still alive. Yeah, you want to try snowmobiling? And if you're a snowmobiler, same thing goes, brother. Might want to grab yourself an ATV and come out here and try this. Same place. Totally different experience. Both are incredibly fun. All right, we've made it to the top. There's the big sign at Mount Two Tops. And there's a trail. Well, look at this. Pleasant surprise. Didn't know there was going to be a path that we could take up to the top. How nice. It's nice to be pleasantly surprised once in a while. The wind is howling, just like it is in the winter. Oh my goodness, look at that view. We'll step over the try and do a live cast. I don't know if we'll be able to pull it off or not. Shot. Put her back in. A little rain, take it easy on her. Oh yeah. Little ATV is doing a great job, man. All right, the wind is howling. We made it up, or I made it up, there's no way today. I made it up to the top of Two Tops. It is so windy here in the summertime. I don't know if you're going to hear a word I'm saying. It is just howling. Wow, does it look different up here in the summertime than it does in the wintertime. I'm going to do my best to mitigate all this wind. When I edit this video later on, man, it is just like it is in January. 40, 50 mile an hour winds in here. It's just blowing like there's no freaking Oh my God. The camera is moving so hard. Let's take a look past the wind line. Let's see. Over here is, that's all about the park. Hammering the portable camera. The gimbal's not made for this. And that's West Yellowstone, right back down there. I was going to try to do a live cast here. How much wind there is, I'm not sure. There's it is a windy, blustery day. You can probably tell just by the pirate's beard. Oh my God, it is just hammering up here, man. Wow. But I'm barehanded, you know. I'm wearing just a shirt, no insulation. This is fabulous. It's so warm. It is so nice. Normally you come up here in January and, you know, it's 10 degrees and you got a 40 or 50 mile an hour wind chill blowing. It's not very pleasant. Things considered right now, this is pretty nice actually. It's a little excessively windy, but super, super nice to be up on top. Oh. All right, let's get off the top of this mountain. Wildly different experience up here in the summer. No snow ghosts, none of those great big huge holes. You're 10, 15 feet deep with snow. Same trees, but wow, does it look so, so different. Just a very familiar place that is completely different. A lot of dust in the middle of summer. Don't see any of that in the wintertime. I'm glad there was a trail. That was really a nice surprise. I fully expected I'd come back up here a second time with all my hiking gear and just hike up to the top to get that little video shot. But we got lucky. That was a very, very pleasant surprise. Now we'll go back down this trail and we'll head back to the parking lot in Big Springs and call it a day. In our first shakedown, I started making a mental list of the things that I did not carry with me that I wish I had. I'll start assembling my summertime gear list. You know, I guess it's like sledding. You don't really know what you need, what you want, until you go out there and give it a try the first time. Look how just beautiful that is. Really, it's just stunning, isn't it? Gosh. I do love it out here. I just love being in the mountains, I think. Maybe it's as simple as that. I just like being outdoors. I spend my life inside in an office looking at 4 big, huge computer screens and supporting 100,000 plus users. And love the opportunities to get outside, get out in the mountains. Yeah, it doesn't bother me a bit. The weather is so incredibly nice. Yeah, it's windy, but so what? You know, it's got to be 75 degrees right now, I'll bet. The dust is a little bit much, but you know, I'm sure once we get out of the top of the alpine here, that'll go away as well. I suspect we will come back up here several more times this summer. A little bit on the rocky side. Certainly something we don't see when we're up here in the winter. The rocks are well buried. Oh my gosh, it's just so different. It's so fun. Alright. We'll get off this exposed slope here in a minute. Get back down into the relative calm and safety of the trees. All will be well. This would be a fun ride on a mountain bike. such a different look during the summertime. Yep, I need to swing over and go pick up some more trail passes. All right, we'll head back down now. Made it back down off the top there, off the alpine zone, I suppose, back into the forest. The wind, of course, dropped right down, and it's calm and gentle and just beautiful down here. Lots of gorgeous trees. It's interesting how few people I've come across today. You know, much like the snowmobiling, there are many days when I go sledding and I only see 4, 5, 6 people, and that's been pretty much how it's been today. I've really only seen a handful of people, maybe half a dozen people on motorcycles, and again maybe half a dozen on ATVs. No, not ATVs, on side-by-sides. I'm not sure if I've seen one other person on an ATV today. Side-by-sides seem to be the preferred method of transport up here. And I guess if you've got 2 or 3 people, that makes a lot of sense. I like the ATV. I feel like I'm more out in the woods, as it were. Sort of like on the snowmobile, I want to be part of it, not enclosed, wrapped around. A little bit more exciting, a little bit more visceral. But so much beauty. Just so incredibly beautiful. Trails are lovely. If you have a decent, capable quad, you know, you're going to come up here and just have an absolute blast. Some pieces get a little bit challenging with all the rocks, but I'm a completely rank amateur and I was able to negotiate it, so I'm pretty sure I can say anybody who comes up here is going to be able to do the same. I certainly had zero background and no training in doing any of this, and I'm not having any trouble with it, so I wouldn't think anybody else would have problems with any of this. Now, if it was raining, this might be significantly more exciting. I remember a time or two I've come up here very early in the season, early November, when the plows have not been out for the first run of the year, and you get to break trail up here when there's 50 or 60 inches of snow. That's exciting. That can be a real workout because you'll just keep getting sucked into the deep bottomless snow on this little trail right here. So who knows, maybe with a good rain and some mud and some slick rocks, this could be much more exciting. Don't know. I'll find out as the summer goes by, I suspect. But for now, this is just nothing but beautiful, fun riding. Look forward to seeing just what the camera is able to capture versus what my eyes see. It is rocky. It is bumpy. Oh my gosh. Would not be fun to roll over and get tossed off your ATV. That would be a hard landing. Much more forgiving in the middle of winter. But what a difference in the level of beauty in the winter and the summer. I mean, just could not be more strikingly different in contrast. It's so green and so lush, so much undergrowth, and none of that's here in the wintertime. In the winter, it's just a white wonderland. All right, I think that was the hardest part. Now we're coming down the mountain back to the 50-inch wide gate. I suspect it might be wider than 50 inches. It says 50, but I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit bigger. It'd be fun to come up here and actually measure it and see just what it really is. Somebody tell me if you know why. What is 50 inches? Is that a magic number just here locally, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana? Is that nationwide? And is there a really compelling reason that makes 50 the magic number and not 55, not 60? I'm curious. I have no idea at all where that number came from. Maybe it has to do with turning radius on a really tight section of trail, or there's some other compelling federal reason why that's that number. Off of Mount Two Tops, and I came back down to the big meadow. I think it's called Mosquito Flats. And I came across a group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 side-by-sides, and they're just down here rocking out, having a good old time. Went over and said hello, and they said they wanted to be on the video. All right, so here's the guys. They're out here just having a big old time. Got some serious Spanish influence going on here, but it shows that people are out here having a good freaking time, man. There we go. So where are you guys all from? Oh, damn, you're all locals. I didn't figure that out. Not locals, but locos. Very cool, guys, very cool. That's awesome, man. Out here just having a freaking good time. And they've got the little ones with them as well, man. That's awesome. Way to go. This is what Island Park in West Yellowstone's all about. You get out here, bring your quads, your ATVs, your side-by-sides, turn up a little music, and have a good damn time out in the mountains today. And we're coming back to the main junction. This time we'll go right and take a slightly different path back down to Big Springs. Sometime in the last probably day, 2 days, it must have rained up here because there's lots of lovely little puddles all along the trail. Yes, it's probably about 6 o'clock at night now. Absolutely magnificent outside. Still high 70s, maybe 80 degrees. We'll slice through these trees and we should pop out into that great big meadow at the beginning of Island Park. Beginning of the Big Springs Loop, like you said. Yep, there we go. It is a big meadow. Fun place to come and teach people how to go snowboard. Certainly my favorite place to do instruction. You can see why, it's just so big. All you gotta do is add 4 or 5 feet of snow and you're golden out here. Should take us back in where a bunch of little streams and tributaries of the river come right up to the trail. There we go. If you're brave in the wintertime, you can ride down there. Not something I have done, but other people do. Well, somebody's got their car out here. Seems a bit much, to be perfectly honest. I don't know why somebody's driving a big old truck on a little trail like this, but yeah. That bridge doesn't seem to be up to it. did my best to avoid riding on pavement any chance I got. This ATV is not street legal yet. I think all I need to do is put a set of blinkers on it though and it would be legal. I may go ahead and get that done, we'll see. But for now, there's plenty of ways to get around it. A couple more side-by-sides out here at the end of their day. We are almost back to the warming hut. Well, if we were up here right now and it was December or January, it would be pitch black. Summer does have some advantages, I must admit. I like the longer days. And there we go, back where we started. Lots of campers. Put this back up on the trailer now. It's over, back in the parking lot. Got the ATV loaded up on the trailer, and time for a couple of end of the day thoughts. Number one, this parking lot is wildly busier in the summertime. There are so many ATVs and quads and motorcycles running around I can't even shake a stick at. Nothing compared to winter with the snowmobiles. I had a fabulous time today. I have to admit, it's been years since I had this much fun doing something for the first time. And maybe that's why it was so much fun, because it was the first time. I just had an absolute blast coming out here, coming to IP, riding up to the top, going into a little bit into Montana, and then coming back over here at the end of the day. The wind has been strong. We're probably going to have all kinds of wind noise on the video. That's just part of the game, I suppose. But what a good time, man. What fun this ATV was, what fun the whole ride was. Just, it was so cool to be out and see the exact same places that I've been riding for 17 years and yet see them from an entirely different perspective. I mean, and it was different, make no mistake about it. It's like day and night between summer and winter. Same basic areas. I could tell the trees and tell the, where I was, but it just looks so different. It was so fun to be able to experience it brand new for the first time all over again. Will I come up here and keep doing this? 100%. You betcha, man. I have a new summertime hobby. Riding this ATV, this quad is going to be a blast. I will have so much fun coming up and riding all the trails that we've been covering for the last 3 years on the channel and that I've been riding for the last 17 years. I think this will be a whole lot of fun. I totally thought I'd get up there and no one would see me or recognize me. I was wrong. I got stopped. I got helloed by a few people, and that's fine. It was fun to see some other snow westers, guys that are dedicated, hardcore snowmobile enthusiasts that are out riding ATVs or riding quads or side-by-sides. I want to get the terminology right. They're out there riding side-by-sides. There were very, very few quads or ATVs. Pretty much everybody I saw was either riding a dirt bike or they were riding a side-by-side, and the side-by-sides owned the park. No comparison. That is clearly the hot ticket for what people are riding out here right now. Me personally, I like the ATV, man. I enjoy being out in the open. I enjoy having the wind in my face and just being exposed, and it was super fun. So guys, this was the shakedown ride. This is ride number 1 of our summer ATV series. I will be back up here again. I guarantee it. I'm going to go home and wash this thing up. I need to work on a list of goodies. I got a little nervous up on the top that I didn't have as much clothing as I wanted. If a storm had moved in, if I'd gotten soaked on top, I think it would have not been fun coming back down. So I'm going to work on rain gear and medical first aid kit, just basic survival stuff that I carry on the sled that I didn't have today with me. I will get all that together. I am Christopher Graybeard, your friendly forum admin from snowwest.com, the pirate guide for Island Park in West Yellowstone, having fun up here in the summertime. We'll look forward to seeing you guys online. Bye-bye.